So I found 5 solutions to the economy and housing market that I'm going to share with you today so I can get some feedback and see what you think in terms of what it would take to turn Canada around. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Justin Konikow, one of the co-owners of Prime Real Estate with my incredible wife, Shannon. We have a team that covers all of Southwestern Ontario in residential, commercial, investment, and agriculture. And we have one of the best networks on the planet. So if you're looking for an agent anywhere, just connect with us below. But on this channel, we love to give you the goods. So let's get right into it. GDP is flat, unemployment is up, housing, food, energy costs are all at an all-time high. We are printing money and expanding the public sector. Our cities are experiencing lawlessness and frustration. But how do you encourage productivity? How do you allow for more opportunity in the workplace? How do you balance commodity markets? How do you create a free, safe, and balanced marketplace and society? Well, I asked AI, and here's what it said. Number 1, tax reform and incentives for growth. Implementing tax reforms that lower the tax burden on businesses and individuals can stimulate economic activity. Introducing tax incentives for investments in key sectors like technology, energy, and manufacturing can spur innovation and job creation. Simplifying the tax code can also reduce administrative burdens and encouraging compliance. Well, when it comes to taxation in real estate, there's been a lot of chatter about the capital gains tax, the Renters' Bill of Rights, and albeit there needs to be regulations in these marketplaces, many times these taxation programs might have adverse reactions. One thing we've seen when it comes to capital gains is there are companies literally coming from the United States trying to poach talent from Canada. Think about it, whether it be doctors or people who created businesses from absolutely nothing, who created wealth for themselves and bought, say, real estate investments. Now, when they're looking to sell them, the capital gains implications are massive. Now, that may be that they're very well off now and they're just going to pay a little bit more tax according to the government. But what happens with future investment and innovation? If you are giving people the reason not to invest here, there are a lot of other places they can invest. I think that they need to rethink this program, how they're rolling it out, and encourage investment and innovation while having solid regulatory measures in place. Number 2, investment in education and skills training. To increase productivity and create more opportunities in the workplace, significant investment in education and vocational training is necessary. This includes updating curriculum to match demands of today's industries, providing lifelong learning opportunities to help workers adapt to changing job markets. Partnerships between industry and educational institutions can align skills training with actual job needs. There's definitely a strong feeling in the marketplace that people need education that's going to translate into dollars in their pocket. It's great to have a piece of paper, but if there are no jobs for that piece of paper, what are we to do? On top of that, the skilled trade sector is one of the biggest opportunities for children moving forward. If you are a parent, I promise you want to think about having your kid learn a skilled trade. Carpentry, electricians, plumbers, people that are actually skilled at doing a task are going to be the future, as we're going to need them. We're going through a massive generational shift where we are losing a lot of people that have the knowledge to pass down to the next generation. I think we went through a period of time where it just wasn't cool to be a trade, but I actually think it's going to be one of the biggest opportunity zones in the future. Number 3, regulatory reform for housing and energy markets. Balancing commodity markets, particularly in housing and energy, can be achieved by adjusting regulatory frameworks to encourage supply increases and sustainable practices. For housing, this could mean reducing barriers to construction and development, and for energy, incentives towards renewable sources through subsidies and support for innovation. What is a little bit dangerous is programs, subsidies, and programs that are trying to encourage renewable resources without actually consulting with the people in those industries. Look at agriculture, look at manufacturing, look at housing. It's great to roll out programs, but you need to make sure that you're talking to the people who are actually going to solve the problem and are in the industry, because it's not going to get solved by the public sector. It's going to get solved by the public sector with help from the private sector. Now, in terms of turning around our downtown cores, enhanced law enforcement and community engagement is absolutely key. To address lawlessness and improve safety, there needs to be a balanced approach that combines enhanced law enforcement with community engagement initiatives. There are 2 sides to that conversation. We need both sides of the table talking, not othering each other. Yes, there's one side of the conversation that you need law enforcement and you need people to feel like there's going to be a penalty for breaking the law in order for them not to break the law, because if there isn't, they're just going to do whatever they want. But at the same time, we need to help those people in our society that don't have the opportunities to, say, help themselves. If you followed my journey and you know much about me, you know that I empathize with those people more than your average person, whether it be addiction, mental health, many of the struggles that they face. there needs to be a balance to the conversation. It can't be all help and enablement, and it can't be all law enforcement. So bring both groups to the table and let's make our downtowns what they could be. At their best, they are vibrant, they're engaged, and they take care of each other. And I think our community has the ability to do that, but there needs to be both sides of the conversation talking to each other. And number 5, the biggest solution to economic and housing viability is fiscal responsibility and reduction of the public sector expansion. Remember, it was AI that said this, not me. Encouraging a balanced marketplace in society involves maintaining fiscal discipline and avoiding excessive expansion of the public sector. This can be achieved by prioritizing spending, auditing, and streamlining public services for efficiency and setting clear goals for public sector accountability. Additionally, encouraging private sector participation through public-private partnerships can help alleviate the burden of the public sector and foster a more dynamic community. If you did a forensic audit of healthcare, education, real estate, I'm sure we'd find efficiencies in all our business. And I would take my own medicine and say, there's some efficiencies I need to create at Prime. That's what we need to do from a governmental and a public sector perspective. I would be happy to give my time to leadership in London and tell them where I think there are opportunity zones. And I'd be happy for the public sector to come in and tell me how I can do my job better. If you put your ego aside, a lot of times you can find a more concise solution. All of that seems pretty reasonable to me. The challenge is identity politics have created a divide where people like to other those they disagree with. The reality is we're a community. We may have different beliefs, goals, aspirations, and lifestyles, but it's undeniable that we need a balanced approach to recovery. The good news is we live in a country that has food, energy, and rule of law. Although the headlines don't make it feel that way sometimes, we have more opportunity than ever before. So stop blaming others for lack of opportunity. Stop living in an echo chamber. Stop pretending someone else is going to save us. Stop talking only about problems. Let's get back to being productive. Let's talk to people we disagree with. Let's have more transparency and accountability. Let's have a solutions-oriented mindset. Hopefully you got some value from that. If you agree with me or disagree with me, jump in the comments and let me know. Again, thanks for joining us. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future insights just like this one. We have some more market updates coming up. The Bank of Canada is going to announce rates on June 5th, so watch for those videos. And as always, watch our property tour videos. Whether you want to live in the country, you want to buy a commercial property or a farm, we got your back. Prime's goal is to be the most trusted name in real estate, and the only way we become that is with feedback from you.